All right, let's just put this out there. Only 2% of YouTube channels ever reach 10,000 subscribers. And I don't know whether that's something that makes you want to be spurred on, or that's something that makes you throw in the towel right now. But I will say, of the 98% who don't make it, I think there's some really common mistakes that are made that keep these channels in that small territory. And those common mistakes are something that can usually be pretty easily fixed. So in this video, I want to highlight 4 of what I think some of the most common ones are, and actually show you some easy solutions so you can fix them and hopefully help your channel get onto a better path towards growth. It all just might be simpler than you think. Hey, I'm Diane. I am in my mid-50s, and I've started this YouTube channel to help my fellow folks who are over the age of 40 to have opportunities for more influence and hopefully more income as we get closer to those retirement years. All right, let's dive in. Mistake number 1, boring or lengthy introductions. YouTube's internal data shows that we have at most 15 seconds to be able to capture a viewer's attention and give them a reason to stick around. These precious opening seconds determine whether someone actually becomes a viewer of your video or whether they're like, there's nothing of value for me here, so I'm just going to keep scrolling. Now, hear me on this. Every precious second that you spend on maybe a scattered YouTube greeting or maybe a cutesy little video intro is a second that your viewer is pondering, am I staying or am I going? Now, I fully realize I might be stepping on some toes with some of these things in this video, but I want to do it for your good and for your growth. So here's my first one that might hurt a little bit. Are you doing any of these things in your first 15 seconds? Hey guys! Oh gosh, I don't know what's going on with my hair today. This stupid humidity. Well, anyway, welcome back to my channel. Hi, is my camera angle okay? Hey. Oh, there we go. I'm Esmeralda. How are you today? I hope you're good. Are you looking forward to the weekend? I really am. Or maybe you open your videos with a cute little 5 or 10 second video introduction that you whip together that you think is kind of cool. But I just want to remind you that your viewer kind of has to endure that to see whether there's anything in the video that's going to capture their interest for the rest of the time. All right, sorry if I offended you. Well, maybe not. Here are some proven ways, though, that I think can fix some of those problems and help your 15 seconds to be as attention-getting and capturing of your viewers' attention as possible to make them want to stick around. It's always a good idea to start with what's called a pattern interruption that makes your viewer kind of stop what they're doing and take notice of what you're saying. Now, here's a few examples of how you can do that. Ask a provocative question that speaks to your viewer's pain point and problems. Here's a sample. What if the reason your houseplants keep dying has nothing to do with how often you water them? They've got dead plants, they're trying to take care of them, you're asking a question, it's getting right to their attention. Or a surprising statement or a statistic like, only 2% of YouTube channels ever get more than 10,000 subscribers. Offering a clear and specific benefit that's going to get their attention. Something like, by the end of this video, you're going to know everything you need to do to set up passive income streams to make money while you sleep. Or offering a compelling sort of preview of a demonstration that you're going to do. Like you're pulling out this steaming, beautifully browned apple pie from your oven, and then you allude to the fact that your video is going to help them get that same result. Here's another thing that's important to do with every video that you post. Once it's up for a few days, study your retention graphs and your YouTube analytics really closely because you want to see where people are dropping off and paying attention. I set a goal for the percentage that I want to have for people that are still watching after 30 seconds. At this point, my goal is 60%. And I'm doing my best to stay above that, but now that I'm getting there pretty consistently, I want to push myself and set my goal to 70% soon. When you concentrate on improving your first 15 seconds and those strong intros, I guarantee you that that percentage number is going to go up. When you're making videos, time yourself and really kind of push yourself to get to the main meat of your video within 30 seconds. You have to express yourself in your hook and that little preview of what your video is going to be about as concisely as possible. And finally, if it's a big deal to you to use your little produced clip that you have as a video introduction, fine. Just don't make it the first thing that people see because they're going to click away because it means nothing to them. Do your strong hook and your little bit of an intro first and then put it in. All right, I know that here is where you're probably thinking, Diane, I've heard all of this before. Yeah, I have too. But what are you doing to actually put it into practice? I'm just going to be that little butt kicker for you to say, try what I'm offering here as solutions. Put it into practice on your next video and the next few after that, and see what you can do to improve, because that's the only way that things are going to change. All right, here's mistake number 2. Not having a clear content focus. Trying to be everything to everyone is just going to destroy your chance at actually getting traction. I think small YouTubers feel like they have to scatter themselves all over the place just to make sure they cover all their bases. And they go from cooking videos to travel vlogs to product description videos, all in the chance that if they put something out there that gets a little attention, that sigh of relief comes. But I just want to be honest with you, that scattershot approach actually causes a lot of problems. First, it confuses the YouTube algorithm. It's not working against you. It's actively trying to find the people that are most likely to want to watch your content. And when you have content genres that are all over the place, it kind of has no idea who to actually share your video to. Second, it kind of prevents subscriber growth. Because if someone is watching a baking video and they're like, okay, I can kind of stick with this person, and then the next time they're on, they see you talking about something like cryptocurrency, they're like, whatever, and they forget who you are, and there's no chance that they're going to say, all right, I want to see more of what they have in the future, and hit that subscribe button. And third, just personally for you, it slows down your skill development, because if you're working on kind of getting better at one style of video, but you're all over the place with what you're doing, your improvement level of how you're communicating is really just going to go a lot more slowly. Now, here are some ways to fix this problem. I really hope you'll give these a chance. First, you just have to take a little time and sit down and do a content audit of the videos that are on your channel. Which topics generated the most views? Which brought in the most comments? Which had the most watch time in your YouTube statistics? This data reveals 2 things: what you're most comfortable talking about and how that aligns with what your audience is most interested in watching from you. Once you see what's rising to the top of these questions, that's what the things are that you really want to double down and just start making more videos about. Next, I want you to think about creating 3 or 4 what are called content pillars. And they're specific themes that all serve your core audience, but they give you a little variety in what you're able to talk about. For example, if your channel focuses on something like gardening for people who don't have very much time, your content pillars might be something like low maintenance plants, weekend gardening projects, seasonal gardening planning, indoor gardening solutions. I'm not a gardener, but I hope you can see that there's samples there of ideas that within a big topic, you can pick 3 or 4 broad things to talk about so you don't get bored and you feel like you can keep coming up with good video ideas. Now, with these content pillars, coupled with the information that you're gleaning from your analytics, I really encourage you to stick with that super narrow approach on your topic until you get to that 1,000 subscriber mark. Only then, I think, you can consider kind of gradually expanding your scope. As you're getting started, you want people to know, and you want the algorithm to know what to expect from you. One thing you might do to help with that and clarifying your understanding of what you're going for is to develop like a 1-sentence overview of what your channel is about. You can use that in your introductions. You can use that on the banner that's on the top of your YouTube page. It reminds you of where you're kind of sticking to, and it's going to help your people that are coming to your channel for some of the first times to get an idea of what you're all about. Now, I do offer a little caveat with this. If you're just getting started, you do have more freedom. I see so many comments from people, I'm just starting out, Diane. I don't even know what to talk about yet. Okay, this is your time to do some experimentation. You want to make videos about, a few things that you feel pretty comfortable talking about. And as you do that, you're going to sense what kind of flows the most naturally from you. And you'll start to get a sense from views as to what people might be responding to the best. So, in that first 15 to 20 video times in your channel, okay, yeah, take the freedom and kind of figure out where you want to land. But once you get there, stick with it, because if you still keep doing all the big variety of things of talking about just because you kind of enjoy talking about them, if your goal is to grow your channel, that works against you. Take that introductory time, get your legs under you a little bit as you're doing it, but then once you find what you're going to go with, stick with it at least until that 1,000 subscriber mark. Okay, mistake number 3, and you might have heard this a lot of times, but man, we're still doing it. I'm still doing it. We have to keep our titles and thumbnails foremost in our mind when we're thinking about a video, rather than we get the video done and we're like, oh, okay, here's the title, here's the thumbnail. Titles and thumbnails just really have to be our first thoughts when we're coming up with video content. Why? Because if no one clicks on our video to watch it, then the rest of it really doesn't even matter now, does it? Your title and your thumbnail are the only things that are appealing to your viewer to get their attention and to earn that click. Now, the harsh reality is, and think of your own behavior as you're scrolling through YouTube, especially on your phone, is that YouTube's really a visual medium. So your thumbnail, as people are in that browsing stage, carries a whole lot more weight than your title. Then it needs to be attractive, it needs to be something that's going to get their attention, and something that is clear that when they look at it, they get that slightest inclination of what your video is going to be about. No matter what your skill level is in developing thumbnails, there are some easy things you can do to help improve them. So let's look at these. Follow the 3-second rule. Okay, your thumbnail should communicate your video's value proposition within 3 seconds. Test this by showing a friend or a loved one your thumbnail for 3 seconds and then asking them what they think the video is about. Next, use high contrast colors that really pop on light and dark interfaces. You might think it's more pretty or aesthetic to have like similar tones or things that blend together a little bit better, but you want to get attention. That's your bottom line with your thumbnail. I think it's important to include a human face on your thumbnail whenever possible. Our brains are noticed to wire faces and to understand what emotions our faces are showing. So that is going to be something that I think just naturally gets more attention than just more of a generic thumbnail. Okay, here's some easy ways to be able to improve your titles. Front load your keywords in the first 3 to 5 words of your title. Many viewers, and even I think the algorithm, pay more attention to the beginning of titles. Plus, when you're scrolling, it's likely that part of your title is going to get cut off at the end. So the most important words have to live in the front. Create curiosity gaps by implying something valuable without giving everything away in your title. For example, the gardening mistake that's killing your plants creates more curiosity than how to water plants correctly. Drama gets attention. And then I know I keep a pretty big swipe file. When I see a title that I think is great, I just grab it. And it really doesn't even matter what sort of niche it's in. If it's a working title that I see is really doing well with a video, there's often a lot of ways I can adapt it to what I'm doing. So as you are looking through YouTube on your own, when you see a title that is doing well with a video and gets your attention, keep it, and then think about how you can make it work for your videos too. Okay, the fourth and final mistake we're covering in this video is inconsistent publishing. I think many new creators just kind of upload whenever the inspiration strikes them. They might have a bunch of ideas in the beginning and they go boom, 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 and have 3 or 4 videos posted in the course of maybe a week and a half. And then it's crickets for a month because they ran out of things to talk about and they're still thinking about it. And then maybe they'll start up again in a big push for a while then too. Now here's why that hurts you. I think YouTube's algorithm needs to understand a general publishing schedule that you're going to follow. If they're going to push out your videos and it gets the sense that after a while they're not going to get anything from you, it might be likely to kind of tamp you down in what they're putting on homepages and browse next options for you, because it doesn't have a sense that it's going to get more content from you in the future to be able to push out. Think of it like this. YouTube rewards channels that it knows it can rely on. If Netflix started all suddenly releasing new episodes, really sporadically, and you were into a show and you wanted to go back and you wanted to see the next episode, but it doesn't come out for 2 weeks and you're like, you're going to give up on it because you just don't have any idea when you're going to be able to see the next one. YouTube treats our regular posting the same way. Okay, there are some easy ways that I think can help us to become more regular in our posting schedule. First, I want to encourage you to do a realistic time audit of how long it takes for you to do every step of your video process. I think we can think that it takes us a lot less time than what it does, and then we're under the 8 ball and we feel like a day's coming up that we want to get that video posted, and we just don't have time to do everything because it's taking longer than what we think. Once you have a better understanding of how much time it's taking you, then you can realistically plan whether you're going to do 1 video a week, 1 video every 2 weeks, 2 videos every week. If you have the time to be able to pull it off, then I think it can be much more normal in your scheduling, and then you can stick to it. Now, I don't do the best at this, but I know it's a best practice to be able to keep, and I'm working on it, is to have a content calendar that's planned out as much as you can get to, even 2 months ahead, that you can have those topics marked in, and then you can sort of plan when you're going to do your recording, when you're going to be able to do your editing and that kind of stuff. So it doesn't all get jammed into one time frame. As much as you're able to plan out your content ahead, I think that's a win. And as much as you are able to get some ideas ahead of time, if you can take a day and you record like maybe 3 or 4 videos all in one sitting, and then you have them ready to edit and post as your schedule goes on, that's also a big help. Again, not something that I'm shining at, but it's something I'm working toward. Okay, we've hit a lot here, and you could very well be thinking, Diane, I've heard all this stuff before. But I'm gonna again encourage you. What are you doing to put these things into practice? It's so easy just to sort of take in all this information, but if we're not actually putting it into practice with what we're doing, nothing's going to change. I've worked hard at trying to get my video introductions more crisp and concise and attention getting. I've worked hard at trying to improve my thumbnails. Some I think are better than others, but I'm still working on it and improving it every time. And that's what we have to integrate this, is that every video that we put out, we have to pick at least one area, one potential mistake that we're making and try to improve in that video. Because if we just keep doing that same thing over and over again, and it's like, oh, the algorithm hates me, oh, this topic doesn't work or anything like that, I just want to encourage you. We have to get a little better, because if we don't work on that, nothing's ever going to change. The subscribers aren't going to come, and the views are going to remain stagnant. I know so many of you, and I know likely you, have been putting in a ton of time on your channel, and it's getting discouraging. And I understand. I've had channels that have just flopped, and I've had to figure out what was wrong, and I've changed courses a few times and so forth. But now I feel like I'm kind of getting it and things are growing more. And it doesn't mean I'm trying to just kind of capitalize on everything I know. I'm still really working on learning. I'm still working on improving. So as much as I can encourage you in that route, that's the most important thing about it. Sure, learn about the mistakes, learn about the fixes, but then actually put them into practice. I would love for you to pick 1 or 2 of the things that we talked about here, and in your next 3 or 4 videos that you do, really concentrate on what you can do to make that change in what you're doing. And I'd love to hear what you're thinking about. Leave me a comment with the fix that's the hardest for you to think about, or what you are going to do in your next video to improve this one thing. If you need that type of accountability and being able to kind of work forward with this, do it in the comments. We can all hold each other accountable in that. I don't think surviving this trapped in a small channel phase is simply about luck to get out of, or hoping that, well, every video is going to bring me closer. And while that might be true, every video that doesn't improve doesn't necessarily improve your chances of success. And I know we all hear this, and I know it's frustrating to hear, but YouTube really is a long game. It can be months and months or even years before we see something really start to happen from it. But every time you make a video, you have the opportunity to improve. Every time you make a video, you hopefully are becoming a better communicator and a better presenter with it. Every time we make a video, we add to our catalog so that when something starts to take off on our channel, that there's more things, there's more in the back posting that people can go back and be able to look to and keep benefiting from what you're sharing. Okay, that's enough cheerleader rah-rah for today. I really am pulling for your success, and I really hope these ideas of what you can do to fix some small problems and intentionally improve as you go is going to be something that you really see some benefit from. Thanks so much for watching and connecting. And hey, another huge topic in helping your channel to grow is to really come up with ideas that connect with your perfect audience and figure out what it is that that perfect audience actually wants to watch. This video talks all about that, and I think it can really help.